does sort of address another need of toughness on the wing that you've developed over the years.
Toughness, shot maker, close to a two-way player. You know, he makes the corner three, doing the right thing. Also, very underestimated, you know, ability he has is a trigger man, taking the ball out of bounds. He did a good job for Phoenix of taking the ball out of bounds, and that is very underestimated. And as many guys like that as you can get. You know, DC has been the guy that we've put on because of he's been the best, but now we got another guy we can choose from, and that's huge. And a lot of times, guys, you watch and see who misses a shot at the end of the game or end of the situation, and a lot of times it's a trigger man who makes the wrong decision. And that guy is a very important guy, and PJ gives us that.
He's also his defensive ability to guard multiple positions and get right up. He's a guard your yard kind of guy, right?
No question. He's physical. He's a man. He's seen it all. He knows the league. He's experienced, and you know, he's not going to be surprised too many times. And he takes the defensive challenge, one-on-one, man-to-man. You don't have to hide him, and that's what we need.
On paper, is this the deepest roster you've had to work with while you've been here?
Well, yeah, because of Serge and PJ on paper. Again, it's on paper. Now we got to put it all together, and it's on us as a staff to in a short period of time, get a rhythm, get a rotation, get a feel for each other, what guys can do, can't do, and try to combine what they've done well from other teams and try to incorporate it to what we're doing and into what we're doing. So it is. I like what we have, just the physicality, because it's a physical league. This team we're playing tonight is a physical team, and the more guys you got like that can guard their position. And still, at the end of the day, you still got to make shots. Two men that can make shots, you know, is what you got to have.
You mentioned the experience that Tucker brings. At 31 years old, he's your oldest player now. Ibaka has played more playoff games than anyone on the roster. Going into the stretch run and ultimately the playoffs, how much does the experience help?
You cannot have too many, you know, guys like that. You know, we thought we was working in a rest home in Dallas because we had so many old guys, but it's what you got to have because there's nothing new. You know, they coach themselves, they understand situations, they correct each other, and it's usually the right thing because they've done it that way before. So as many guys like it you can get in the playoffs, you know, and if you know, playing for something important. But again, now, like Eric said, is putting it all together. Is, you know, they're people. They're not just, you know, fantasy guys, the numbers. They're people with feelings and understanding terminology. All that has to come together.
Having all this kind of competition at every spot, it seems, on every number on the floor, how much is that going to help you?
It helps the team. It doesn't help me personally, but it helps the team. It puts competition into play. If guys not doing their job, there's somebody that can, you know, physically do it and has done it. And so that's what's good for the team. A healthy competition is always good, you know, for everybody. And I think that's something that we've got now.
Dwane, it seems like you have the ability to go a lot of different ways now. You know, you go big, you go small, you go physical, you go athletic. You got a lot of different combinations that you can roll with. Is that in a sense has helped you the way the league's going, that you can kind of roll it?
It does. The flexibility of Ibaka being able to play the 5. Pat can play the 4 or the 5. PJ can play the 4. So, yeah, it does give you physical flexibility to do that. Again, it all sounds good right here, but now we got to go out on the floor, and Boston is not going to cooperate. So we got to make sure we get our guys together and make sure it works against the team that's not ready to cooperate with us, letting us get our little rhythm together.
Is there added pressure? Is there added pressure now trying to make something like this work in such a short amount of time?
It's a good pressure. It's an embrace it. Is pressure any way you go to in this league, whether you got a young team, old team, veteran team, all-star team, it doesn't matter. You know, I guarantee you Steve Kerr has just as much pressure as anybody. But you know, that's just the part of the game you embrace it because it's something that you know, you physically that you can do something with, and so it's good. And again, it's nothing. The value that we have right now is the fact that Pascal Siakam, Jakob Pertl, all the young guys got some great experience. I mean, it's going to be valuable to our organization going forward. That they got to play. You know, we won some games. Now they're going to have some veteran players they can play behind, learn from, go against in practice, watch, and also too be ready to play. And you know, everybody's got to still be ready to play, but it just helps our depth that those young guys had an opportunity to participate and play.
How much does this change? That increased competition that you spoke of earlier, how does that change you as a coach as far as what you do? Is there a shorter leash because you know you are a little bit deeper now, or how do you balance that?
Well, it's a balance, but it's a shorter leash. If guys are not getting it done, it's easier to say, okay, go get this guy when you know that guy's got the experience. He's done it before. He's been to the NBA Finals. You know, there's a track record where, and no disrespect to our young players, you putting another rookie in, and he hasn't done it before. So you know, you're hoping he gets it done. And luckily for us, our rookies have come in and done a good job. The other night, DeLon Wright came in and did a great job. Fred Van Fleet went in and has done a good job. So, but again, you're hoping that they do go in, and that first time they're in there to get the experience, they're getting it done, and you're trying to win games. So it's a balance, but it helps. It helps.
Does this change? I mean, Kyle and DeMar kind of have habits around this team. They know what their roles are. Now that they have more help on paper, at least, than they've ever had, how much do they have to adjust, do you think, their games to a different team?
Not a lot. I think that the good thing that Masai's done is brought guys in that fit those guys. Now, again, is it going to happen in 1 day, 2 days, a week? It's going to take a little while for games for those guys to get a rhythm together, but they fit. It's not like you got two guys that need the ball in the same situation, the same position, same play set. You know, so, and no disrespect to Rudy, but Rudy and DeMar were kind of the same guys who needed the ball in the same place. So, but we don't have that with Serge and also PJ.
Dwane, how important was it for this group to get that break and to kind of be able to reboot now?
It was huge. We were in a mud slide or muddy place right there that, you know, injuries, missing, again, we underestimate the missing of Patrick Patterson, the glue that he brought to the team. DeMar had been out, but everybody goes through it. Boston went through it, and they survived. But yet and still, it affected us, and we were in a place where we were trying different things that were, you know, some of it was sticking and some of it wasn't. But now we're closer back to, where we were before we hit the slide. So it's going to be good to get Patrick back healthy, get everybody in their position, in the rotation, new people in certain situations that are experienced to play. So it was the break came at a good time.
If the physical gets done, do you expect to have PJ playing tonight?
Well, if it got, we'll have to see if it gets done. But we're rushing to try to see. You know, he was here to watch Shootaround this morning and go through that. He's a smart player. I've talked to the coaches in Phoenix, and nothing but high praises. Tyson Chandler's a guy out there. He loves him. So he comes very highly recommended, and it shouldn't take him long. And that's another good thing. Serge and PJ are very smart, experienced players.